Hello, and welcome to American Amnesia. I'm Cliff Garner. Right now it's about 9:46 p.m. And it's the 20th of June. Trying to finish this up. 9/11, a decade later, a whole new ball game. The Reality and the Beliefs of the Military and Clandestine Community by Gordon Duff from Veterans Today. I'll try to remember to post the link again. Trying to wrap it up, there's a lot of things here. First of all, it begins with a threat. It starts with talking to the idiots who monitor all our communications, internet, telephone, who think they know that how far they have gone or are going, and do not think that there aren't lists of those who oppose this illegal effort, and will see to it that you're indicted. This is probably really the heart of the message that this is. It is my understanding that there are others who are in the CIA and other such agencies and the military who have been against what's been going on, and that this is part of an echo chamber. Surely there are people who are monitoring this on both sides of the issue. Next of all, they come down and talk about the DHS, and part of the threat is towards them. And they say that they're putting spies and that they're strangling the efforts of several older institutions. Now, which ones is kind of a question. I would imagine this would be probably CIA, FBI possibly, NSA, things like that. They're trying to put it all under an umbrella with the DHS, and they're proving themselves to be complete idiots too. And that's one of the reasons they say, go ahead and bug the Pentagon, you won't like it. It seems to be that there's a certain amount of limitations of what they're able to do. Now, there was another reference to Holder here. It says he doesn't control justice. Well, that may be. He may not be in control any more than Obama is. That he is doing the bidding of somebody else. But not only that, there are elements within the Justice Department that are probably opposed to what's going on. This could be a broader thing. Possible. Do I think so? Actually, yes. However, I don't think that they're going to come in on a white horse exactly. Then it goes into some things on 9/11. It's kind of detached. The different portions of this are not really connected too well. But they mentioned the nuclear bomb. I've been hearing that from time to time through other things, and apparently DARPA and the Army both believe that. Kind of interesting. Another allegation is that it was done for insurance. Again, I'd refer you to Barry Chamish. He's done a lot more on this kind of thing, and he's pretty interesting guy. I'm checking a lot of sources that may or may not corroborate what he has to say, but he's definitely got me looking for some interesting stuff. Also, one of the things here that's kind of interesting, though, is they shift the blame for 9/11 to the Israelis, and I'm always a little bit leery when you start seeing a lot of talk about Zionists and Israel and Jews and stuff. That's the perennial conspiracy theory, and I do have problems with it. However, it must be kept in mind that there is a big difference between Jews themselves and Zionism and Israel. None of them are necessarily connected directly. They can be mutually exclusive as far as it goes, and so that should be kept in mind. And Israel has done a lot of things that have been rather questionable. However, one of the things, and here's where I have a problem with this, and there's also where I have a problem with some other the implications here. The proof is coming that to show that 9/11 was known about before it happened. That means that there's a certain amount of complicity on the part of the U.S. government, no matter how you cut it. It just can't be ignored. That is something that's being shown increasingly as a fact. So where does the blame go? Well, it could go other places. But the primary blame will have to go to the U.S. government for not having done something about it. That serves somebody's purposes, if so. And if not, then we have to look at who actually did it. And also, assets, it asserts the U.S. can be oil dependent in 5 years. Now, this is another thing that keeps coming up, and that is a controversial issue, but at the same time, is it true? Well, it could be. Could be. We have a lot of oil capped off that hasn't been tapped at all. And that might tie into alchemy, by the way, where they think that just like land, you have to let the land regenerate so it'll bring more crops forth. We come down here to the part about Romney. Now actually, they did a pretty good job with that, but that's mostly Tex and Mars's work. Ties him in very well with this Orit Gadish, whose connections are definitely pretty questionable. And apparently she's pretty strongly tied to Israeli military and Mossad. And not only that, the connection directly with Netanyahu is rather telling also. So that's pretty solid. Then it jumps over here to the Ron Paul thing and praises Paul, and it's clear that there was a lot of malfeasance and misfeasance that occurred during the primaries and caucuses and what have you. And Romney came in out of the blue, actually, after the failings of Kane and all the other Gingrich and the other idiots. It was a clown show, as Ted Dorbick likes to say, and that's a really good way to put it. It was a clown show. As far as it goes, Tel Aviv is controlling everything. I don't know about that. And read Moscow, I'm kind of wondering where that comes from, where the Russians are controlling Israel. I don't see that at all. Now, the thing about Canada, and here, this is a rather interesting thing. He mentions a huge influx of money, $131 billion, which, after looking at trillions, isn't that much. But he says $131 billion, and the only number I could find where that matched up where it could pertain to Canada, it was regarding a certain pipeline and a deal with the U.S. on here we go, Enbridge pipeline, where it's corporate Canada, and where actually what the deal apparently is that the Canadians are selling to America at America's price, as opposed to getting what they could on the broader market. And that might be what it's all about here. There's nothing else there. Now, one of the things we have to ask is, where's this guy getting his information? It's coming from somewhere, and he's doing somebody's bidding here. He's sending a message to people on his side and to factions inside of the government that are leading the TSA and such groups to take greater control of things. And this is really, really bothersome. Also, the allegation about Canada smuggling WMD and yellow cake and what have you, that I couldn't find anything on it, and again, this might come to some inside connections he might have. I'm finding this really interesting because it's clearly, like I say, it's a message. It's definitely a message. Now, over to Ron Paul here. One of the things about Paul is that I'm seeing more and more that he is connected to certain interests that are pertaining to a neo-Confederate type movement that, it has embraced some of the greater aspects of Austrian school libertarianism, and has also been in favor of repealing certain laws such as the civil rights laws, which I find rather upsetting. And it seems that Paul has, or at least Rand has said some things directly in that vein. And Ron Paul has got people around him that have been writing such things as well. He has publicly disavowed certain parts of that, but at the same time it keeps cropping up. And if that's the case, we have to ask why. Why is that happening? So I think there's a validity to this rumor, and that there's also some indications it has something to do with certain segments of Scottish Rite Masonry, which shouldn't be too surprising. The Masons are just about everywhere in one shape or form, but there are different schools of thought, I guess, within Masonry, and that seems to be probably the case, particularly where it's pertaining to the South. Really, that's pretty much all I have to say on this. It's rather disjointed work, very badly edited. I don't think that that's the point, though. I think the point is that it's to reach the audience that's intended to get to. Anytime that a person makes a message, you need to ask, who are they speaking to? Who is speaking? And why are they making this communication? And I think that this is just to remind some people inside the government that they're watching and that they don't control everyone. And also to the people that are part of their faction to both inform and to maybe keep their spirits up, also maybe even some planning. There might be some coded messages in here as well, but I am unable to crack those. That seems unlikely, but it's possible. One of the things that you have to remember when you read into the occult and secret societies and everything else is that they use blinds, and so do the intelligence people. They use these things called blinds, which are meant to throw off people. And a certain amount of disinformation is going to be involved as well. So separating the wheat from the chaff isn't the easiest. I won't come to any conclusion here because I don't see one unless they're really wrapped up in Paul and involved in some faction, either directly with the neo-Confederates, which I'm really kind of doubting, or that they are somehow aligned with them as a matter of political expediency.